From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for September 7th, 2016. In just a moment, we're going to be taking a look at the EURUSD, the euro versus the US dollar for today's trade analysis. But first, a recap of yesterday's trade suggestion. We were looking at selling opportunities on the USD CAD yesterday. Yesterday, during the morning analysis video, the market was up here around the blue shaded area. And what we were looking for specifically was the market to break down underneath the blue zone, 29.15 or so, and continue to pressure down towards the orange shaded area. What I was looking for was an open and close, a clear singular candle body that opened and closed underneath the blue shaded area. And it never really gave me that clear singular candle body underneath the 29.15 level. Now, if you adjusted that blue shaded area a little bit higher than that 29.20, 29.25, you might have been able to get into it. But I never saw a clear opportunity to jump into it. It attempted it. It really stayed underneath it. I mean, this big red candle tells us that we should have sold it. But there was no real clear entry signal here, and no singular candle body that opened and closed underneath here. Because literally, if the news would have come out differently, we would have seen this gone higher. So, difficult situation. If you did take the sell, of course, you're into profit. Protect profit if you are still in it. Similar situation here today, though, into the orange zone. We really need to see a breakdown of this orange shaded area. We're looking right about 1.2840. Hasn't done it. It really hasn't clearly broken 1.2840. So I don't see a clear signal to enter. I think if you enter it now, you're just gambling. You don't really have a real reason to do it. In fact, we have some Canadian news later on today. The Bank of Canada rate statement, overnight rate information. I think if you were to sell it now, you're just really gambling. There's no clear entry signal to go short. There's no clear entry signal to go long. And you have that rate information today. So you might wait till after that until you take a new trade opportunity here on the US CAD. Let's take it on over to the EURUSD, euro versus US dollar for today's trade analysis. Lots of stuff happening here. We've been back and forth on this currency pair for the past couple of weeks. You can see that here on the daily time frame. And really, if you just take two lines, I'm actually going to take this green line off for a minute. Take that off, and let's take two trend lines and put it, well, that's not a trend line. Let's take a trend line and put it here. And really, you could just leave this one here. And you could look that we've been bouncing around between those two red trend lines for the past several weeks. We've risen, we've fallen, rise, fall, and now we're kind of in a rise phase again between those two red trend lines. So it's been back and forth, and I think we really need some clear information. It could be tomorrow we have the bid rate out of Europe and the ECB press conference. We could be looking for that for some new directional purpose here for this currency pair. But we'll continue to watch this pair for both directions. For the day today, though, we are above the 100 period moving average. We're sitting above what was resistance is now support. Let's go ahead and zoom it in a little bit and start discussing that for the day today. Take a look at this. We saw yesterday a pretty significant move higher. There's the 100 period moving average right here in the middle of the, or towards the lower part of the yellow zone. Yellow zone is 1.1205 to 1.1230. And you can see resistance here, and it'll be easier to see this but when we get down to the 4 hour, but there's some resistance back here and here. So we're above what was historical resistance in the yellow zone, now acting for the day today as our support. Of course, the orange shaded area already showing us over the past couple of days resistance, and if it can get above there, clearly, just look right here, and even on the far left-hand side of the chart, we're looking for it all the way back up here towards the blue zone into the 1300s. The 1.1355 to 75 is the blue zone. And of course, the risk in this scenario is that it turns back lower again, gets back underneath the 100 period moving average, underneath the yellow zone, and starts going back down again. So we know what the risk is, we know what the direction is currently. So I think for the day today, until something changes, maybe even waiting for tomorrow's ECB, we look for buying on dips to support into the yellow shaded area with yesterday's momentum that began with this big blue candle. Let's take it on down to the 4 hour time frame. We zoom it out. I want to show you back here the black circle resistance, the blue circle here resistance, the blue circle here resistance, and we spoke about this in the live trade room yesterday. False breakout right here at this blue circle, no open and close above the yellow zone. Today's different. Why? Because we've seen clear candle bodies open and close above the yellow shaded area today. Let's zoom it in now. Take a look. False breakout, real breakout here. So what we're looking for is a buy on a dip into support. Let's go ahead and take Fibonacci from the current resistance high. Let's go with this high right here to the last low. And by doing that, Sorry about that. I want to do it the other way. Let's take Fibonacci from the low down here at the bottom to that same current resistance high. We find the 236 fib sitting at 1.1232, right at the top of our yellow shaded area. And again, we know what the risk is. The risk is a break of the 382, a break of the 100 period moving average, and the 1.1205 or so level that's at the bottom of the yellow shaded area. So to get our lowest amount of risk, we want to buy on a dip into support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up as a buy order, pending buy order, into the 1.1230 level. That's the top of our yellow shaded area. So if we're going to look for an opportunity, we want to buy it on a dip to the yellow zone. Could be even deeper towards the 382, 1.1210. And our stop loss in this case is going to be underneath the yellow shaded area, 1.1195, as deep as you can go with your appropriate risk strategies. But 1.1195, 1.11 90 could be an opportunity for a stop loss. You just know that you don't want it to break the yellow zone. We'll target the orange zone, and if it can get through there, again, we'll look for a target all the way up into the mid 113s for the euro dollar. Keeping in mind, significant news tomorrow with the ECB on Thursday, September 8th. But that'll be our trade opportunity for the day today, staying between the yellow and the orange shaded area.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.